Harpers! Welcome to day 7 and thank you for spending the last day of 2020 with me. We are on day 7 of 12 days of small Christmas concerts, and 7 is 7 swans swimming, so I put on my best white feathers. And if you didn't recognize it already, that beginning theme was a bit of the famous theme from Swan Lake, the ballet by Tchaikovsky. And of course, for 7 swans, we have to play Swan Lake. Now, harpists love the music of Tchaikovsky, not just because he tells such beautiful stories, but because he's one of the few popular classical composers who has a lot of harp parts. The harp was invented pretty late in music history, so a lot of classical music just doesn't have harp in it. But the harp came into its stride just before the great Russian composers like Tchaikovsky and Korsakov, and Tchaikovsky really took advantage of all of the character of the harp. So it's really nice to play Tchaikovsky. We're not just sitting in the background looking ornamental, we actually get to play music. It's great. But here is the theme from the ballet Swan Lake. Hello, thank you so much for jumping on and joining this stream. It's a real pleasure to get to share these 7 days, and if you haven't gotten a chance, I'm doing these mini tiny harp concerts for the 12 days of Christmas, so you can jump back in the Facebook stream or up on my YouTube channel and see what days you missed. For 7 swans, I was looking for swan songs, and although I am a classical harpist trained with all of my, favorite boy bands being like the real classics, Tchaikovsky, Bach, Mozart, those boy bands. I recently became acquainted with the modern version of the boy band in the K-pop group BTS. A couple years ago, I fell down this rabbit hole. I just wanted to know what name went with which neon hairstyle of that era, and several deep dives of the internet later, I discovered not only the whole K-pop industry, I'm even making myself Korean food for dinner tonight. But this international phenomenon of a boy band released a really interesting song at the beginning of 2020 called Black Swan. And what's amazing is that it was before any of the global shutdown happened that prevented so many artists from sharing and performing. And the song talked about what it meant as a performer. How do we find our identity when we can't perform anymore? What happens when we have danced our last dance or sung our last song? Who are we? It says, do your thing, but what is my thing if I'm not a performer? And before this year, I was a full-time professional harpist performing a lot. But of course, in 2020, I haven't been able to perform any of the places that I normally do. I'm so grateful I've had the opportunity to move some of my performances and my music online and share it with you here. So thank you so much for watching, and enjoy Black Swan by BTS. That was Black Swan by BTS, a sort of hip-hop change after our classical Swan Lake. I'm really intrigued by this. How do we deal with that? Especially coming to the end of a year. Today's the last day of 2020. Our role as artists and truth speakers, as musicians, as performers, as sharers, as people when we can't do the things that we used to define ourselves by. And as I was putting together this program, I was reminded of one of my absolute favorite hymns, this haunting minor tune called God is Working His Purpose Out as Year Proceeds to Year. Written in the late 1800s, this song somehow summarizes how I handle the beginning and end of very odd times in my life. God is working His purpose out as year proceeds to year. God is working His purpose out, and the time is drawing near, nearer and nearer, the time that shall surely be, when the earth shall be filled with the glory of God as the waters cover the sea. From utmost east to utmost west, wherever foot is trod, bearing the wondrous gospel of grace, goes forth the word of God. Hear me, O continents, you islands, listen to me, for the earth shall be filled with the glory of God as the waters cover the sea. A great end of year song. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you have a favorite song or have recognized any of these, drop a comment down below, leave a suggestion and a like, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I'm so glad you're here. To finish off today's program, I wanted to bring in one more love song. These 12 Christmas concerts are inspired by the famous Christmas carol, The 12 Days of Christmas, where a lover gives his true love all of these different gifts. 7 is the number of perfection in biblical tradition. When you have 7 of something, it's complete. And there's this delight in longing to be complete in love. And I wanted to play one of the love songs I've always enjoyed since I was a kid, called Beyond the Sea, Somewhere Waiting for Me. And I loved this idea of going sailing, of pirate ships and being on the water, or of the swans, like in the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, flying over the water to find their home again. So here is a little of Beyond the Sea. And I will see you on the other side of New Year's in 2021. Here is Beyond the Sea, Somewhere Waiting for Me. thank you so much for joining me. If you feel at all like an ugly duckling today, may you feel the blessing and the love that transforms you into a beautiful swan. And I will see you on the other side of the sea, where we will be so complete in love, well, we won't have to feel like we're sailing anymore. And I will see you back here for day 8 in 2021. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye.